Chartemis rhyme. Chartemis rhyme. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking bad shits. Chartemis, subscribe.
He has a hole in his crotch. Hey, what's up, you guys? Chartemis Prime here doing another Marvel Legends review redo. Yes, the last time I reviewed this figure was 4 years ago. Wow, yes, a redo is in need, of course. So, big thanks to Rodine, my friend Rodine. Thank you so much, man. One of my best buds in the whole wide world gave this to me as a gift in like 2005, I believe it was. And I've held on to it this whole time, and I still love this figure. We will be getting some new Hawkeye figures later on. And if you're shopping for new Marvel Legends, you know where you gotta go, right? You gotta shop big, big, big.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to the classic Hawkeye and the modern Hawkeye that are coming out from Hasbro. I'm really interested to see how those work. As you can see, this guy is very, very loose, and I have not done the super glue trick on him. Dab a little bit of super glue right there, and as it dries, you move it back and forth so it doesn't completely harden. So I just haven't gotten the chance to do it to this figure yet, but he is very loose. I want to show this old school Toy Biz packaging right here, because I've kept this the whole time, and you can see Ant-Man right there on the arrow, and then Hawkeye in the background, so I think that's cool. And Series 7. Quick look at the back of the packaging. We have all these guys right here, and then the bio. He doesn't have a lot going on over there. So this is the base he comes with, and he also has this rock. This rock actually has some pretty nice paint detail to it, you know. It's actually not too bad. You got some black mixed in there over this gray. It has a slot right there. And you take this dealie right here, and you just plug it in like so. And then you take this hole and plug that in like so, and there we go. We've seen this for a few of the figures. I think Cable has something like this, and Taskmaster has something like this. You know, it's alright. This isn't really why I bought the figure or anything. It's okay. It's cool. It's got a purple strap right here, and you can hook this in. He's got his seatbelt going on, so I'll plug him in on this thing later. But, you know, these has this red dot right here. You get a little bit of pink dot. You got some green. Got some control panels going on the inside, so they did, you know, some detail and stuff. And there's the rocket booster, I guess. Yeah, some actually really nice shading at the tip of this thing. So this Hawkeye comes with a ton of arrows. He comes with 6 removable arrows. So you can see right here, I'm pulling out a bunch of arrows, which I'm going to get to. So right now I'm putting them to the side. Then he has these 3 arrows back here that are just part of like the second half of his, and you can see there's quite a bit of dust on this guy. Yeah, he's been up on my shelf for years now. And here's his extra bow that's all collapsed, and it has purple on it from it just getting worn out, you know, the paint coming off of it. But you can see that it's supposed to be silver and everything. You can see these arrows right here, and here's his bow. And there is a variant of this that has there's like a slight difference in, I think, the placement of the scope. So there is like a very rare variant to this guy. I forgot exactly what it is, but anyway, I like the silver paint right here, and I like this red dot over here, and you have a scope right here. I guess this is a laser pointer. And this is the only bow that comes with any 6-inch action figure I know of that actually has an elastic band going to it. I have to say, this is the best bow I have ever seen for a 6-inch figure. All the Green Arrow, you know, I'm talking to you, Sean Long, because he just reviewed Green Arrow. That bow and arrow, that sucked, you know what I mean? But DC did come up with better ones later on. And even Hasbro is actually even worse, because that Hawkeye is, I mean, well, it's kind of like the same thing. It's just a piece of plastic coming down right here. I've modified mine, so it's not really worth me showing that off. So yeah, anyway, best 6-inch figure bow I have ever seen. I really do like this a lot, and you could pull it back, and it's held up pretty well, you know, in the years that I've had this. Most of the time it's always positioned like that, so this is a little on the loose side, but still very good. And it's just got these 2 straps that, you know, just wraps around right here. Pretty self-explanatory. I actually like that they've sculpted like the feather lines right here on the arrow, the back of the arrow. But this is my favorite one, which is like basically the regular arrowhead. The grooves in the back of each of these arrows is actually a really nice touch too. I appreciate that. Now I know they all have names. I just can't really match up which all these arrows are supposed to be based off of the chart that I had seen online. But I'm guessing this is supposed to be the rocket arrow. So it kind of looks like a diamond right here, and you can see these do have some paint wear on them. Again, I don't know exactly which one this is supposed to be, but I'm guessing this is the Cable arrow. or maybe the explosion arrow, because it has this tip right here to set it off. Don't know for sure. It doesn't really look like any of the pictures. Now this one I have no idea. I just don't know. I want to say a net. It looks like it could be a net. And then this is the Spider-Woman pleasure arrow. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I do really like the gold paint on this. This is the Bola arrow. And this is the only one that I know for sure that was on that chart. So these 3 balls fly out. Yep, balls flying all over the place. And they wrap around, and they have cables attached to them. And they wrap around the bad guy. And probably the most impressive of all these arrows is the Ant-Man arrow. Wow. This is Ant-Man just on a regular arrow, but they did increase the size of the arrowhead, so it is a little larger, you know, just looking at the arrowhead compared to this one right here. But jeez, man, the little detail on this Ant-Man is so cool. Look at that, he's got these eyes and everything. And yeah, thanks you guys, David, especially for sending me that Ant-Man trailer. Finally got to see it, or the test footage, I mean. So yeah, Samurai Jack did a good job. It's just too cool. I'm just Toy Biz, man. Badass. The paint sculpt of this guy isn't too bad. The only bummer about his face sculpt to me is that he does look like a bit of a sad Clint Barton. Just the way his eyes look, he just looks a little sad. I don't know why he's so sad, because Clint Barton's usually kind of like the upbeat kind of guy. But, you know, in this case, he does just look a little sad. I like how they sculpted the H in there on his dome and his winged eye thingies. There is some nice color variation on the flesh tone there too, so I really appreciate that. Like you can tell on his nose especially, I just think it looks good. See, the purple has some darker purple painted over it. I think that came out really nice. The skin tone's very cool. I like the detail on his armband right there. Very nice. Some more detail over the purple. You can see the flesh variation right there on his arm. Not a bad looking figure. Some very slight paint detailing on his legs. It looked like it was just a solid color. In my original review I said it was a solid color, but it is not. There is paint shading on there. Now on my figure, his legs are a bit bow-legged. You can see that. No pun intended at all, but yeah, they are a bit bow-legged. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but really, I don't know, not a big deal. I've actually enjoyed the figure all these years anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. Now his articulation, not too shabby. His head looks up a reasonable amount, like so. Ooh, I like the silver buckle right here. Just gotta say it like that. But anyway, there's his head moving up, moves down pretty well, moves side to side. Oh, and I have to say that the quiver is very squishy. It's not like very hard material, so you gotta be careful with it. It can break easily, and same thing with the strap right here. It's very like pliable, rubbery kind of material. He has an armpit joint. You can see the hinge right here, and it moves up a little bit as I move it up, and it's on this side too. You can see that, and oh, it moves a little bit more on this side, so you can see that armpit joint moving up and down. He has a ball jointed shoulder right here, moves forward and outward, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. His wrist moves side to side, up and down, and he has finger clamping action. Now his hands, I actually wish they were sculpted just in a way where it was like a little easier for him to grip things, but you know, I've been able to work. It just takes some patience. And then on this side right here, it's not so much, it's a little bit easier for him to grab the bow, but you can tell that they clearly made it so that this hand right here was just pulling on the strings, you know what I mean? It was just pulling on the one string anyway. And of course he has a very loosey-goosey ab crunch right here. He has a waist joint, he has ball jointed hips, he has upper thigh swivel, he has double jointed knees, boot cut over here at the top, and he rotates down here as well, which is pretty unique. I actually haven't seen many figures that have the double calf swivel. A double calf swivel, what a trip. And he has ankles that move down, up, toe articulation, and he has a tiny, not really much of an ankle pivot, sorry, nope. And he does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Now let's see him on his cool base. Woohoo, yeah! Seriously, does anybody ever really pose their Hawkeye figure like this? I mean, come on, for real? I mean, I think it is cool that they added this base. They didn't have to do it, so I think that's stoked that they did it. Oh, and by the way, this is articulated right over here. I didn't explain that earlier, so you can get it. Whoa, and he flew off. And yeah, I just didn't really want to pose the hell out of him. I actually forgot to mention that mine did break at the crotch a little bit, so if you look deep into his balls, you'll see right there that he does have a crack, so that kind of sucks. And just so you can get that height in there, he stands just a little over 6 inches tall. And there he is next to Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. So he still fits in with the newer Marvel Legends coming out, I think. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys. This is the second time I reviewed this figure. Sorry if I made it sound really tired. It's like pretty late. And yeah, I hope you guys like my review. I will catch you later. Peace. And it's on this side right too.